Imagine biting into a crispy snack only to discover it's actually a deep-fried tarantula. Welcome to a world where the unexpected becomes the norm. A world of weird and wonderful foods that will challenge your taste buds and maybe even your courage. These delicacies, while strange to some, are perfectly normal and even beloved in their home cultures. So brace yourselves for a culinary journey like no other. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 weirdest foods from around the globe. Starting our countdown at number 10, we have hakkarl from Iceland. This dish is not for the faint-hearted. It's essentially fermented shark, and it's as bizarre as it sounds. The preparation process is quite interesting. The shark is initially poisonous when caught, so it's buried in the ground to allow it to ferment for around 2 to 3 months. After this, it's hung out to dry for several more months. The end product is a culinary experience that's been described as an acquired taste. The smell is pungent, often compared to cleaning products or strong cheese. The taste, while strong and fishy, is a source of national pride in Iceland. It's a part of their history, a dish that's survived through the ages, providing sustenance in harsh climates. So if you ever find yourself in Iceland, why not challenge your taste buds and try hakkarl? Moving on, let's see what's next on our list. At number 9, we bring you Balute from the Philippines. This delicacy is not for the faint of heart, but gives an authentic taste of Filipino street food culture. Balute, a fertilized duck egg, is an ever-present feature on the streets of the Philippines. Imagine this. The egg is incubated until the fetus inside reaches a certain development stage, usually between 17 to 21 days. This results in a combination of a partially formed duckling and yolk. The egg is then boiled and served in its shell, often with a sprinkle of salt or a splash of vinegar. The taste? It's a unique mix of rich, savory yolk and tender duckling meat. Yes, it's a bit of a surprise, but that's part of the adventure. Balute is considered a national delicacy and is enjoyed by locals and daring tourists alike. It's a symbol of Filipino culinary bravery and creativity. Brace yourself for our next food adventure. Number 8 takes us to France with their peculiar delicacy, ortolan. This tiny bird, no bigger than your thumb, is a gastronomic experience like no other. The preparation alone is almost as unusual as the dish itself. Ortolans are captured in the wild, fattened up, and then drowned in Armagnac, a French brandy. The bird is then roasted whole and served as is, bones and all. Eating ortolan is a ritual in itself, often involving a napkin draped over the head to intensify flavors, and some say to hide the indulgence from the eyes of God. But it's not just the eating process that's steeped in tradition and intrigue. The consumption of ortolan is controversial due to ethical concerns related to its hunting and preparation, and it's even been outlawed at times in France. As we continue our journey, the dishes get even more unusual. At number 7, we find ourselves in Sardinia with Kasum Marzu. Now, for those unfamiliar with this culinary curiosity, Kasum Marzu is a traditional Sardinian cheese that has a rather unique maturation process. It involves introducing live insect larvae into pecorino cheese, which then consume and excrete the cheese, leading to a level of fermentation that some might describe as decomposition. The result is a cheese that is soft, creamy, and filled with live maggots. Yes, you heard that right. The tiny creatures wriggle and writhe, adding an element of movement to the gastronomic experience. And the taste? It's intense, to say the least. A strong, pungent flavor that leaves a lasting impression. Consuming Kasum Marzu is a true adventure for the palate, as well as a test of one's culinary courage. Ready for more? Our next dish is just as surprising. Number 6 leads us to Cambodia with their crunchy fried tarantulas. Now don't let those 8 legs scare you away. This dish has a fascinating origin story. Dating back to the Khmer Rouge regime, when food was scarce, the people turned to whatever they could find, and tarantulas were in abundance. Fast forward to today, these 8-legged treats have become a popular snack, sold on street corners and in bustling markets. But what does a fried tarantula taste like, you ask? Imagine a cross between chicken and cod with a unique, slightly bitter aftertaste. The texture, it's an adventure for the palate, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. Fried tarantulas are not just a survival food anymore. They've become a symbol of resilience, a nod to Cambodia's history, and a crunchy surprise for the adventurous foodie. As we near the top of our list, the dishes become even more intriguing. We've reached the top 3. Get ready for some truly bizarre foods. First up, we're traveling to the Far East, to the vast and diverse land of China. Here, A dish that's been around for centuries, quite literally, has been a staple for many: the century egg. These eggs aren't actually 100 years old, but they might as well be. Duck, chicken, or quail eggs are preserved in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months. The result? A dark, gel-like egg with a strong sulfuric aroma and a complex, layered flavor that's both salty and creamy. It's a taste that's beloved by many in China and seen as a testament to the country's rich culinary history. Next, we're jetting off to Japan, a country known for its delicate and intricate cuisine. However, one dish stands out for its potentially deadly nature: fugu, or pufferfish. The preparation of fugu is strictly controlled by law in Japan, and only chefs who have undergone rigorous training are allowed to handle the fish. Why? Because fugu contains a lethal dose of poison in its organs. When prepared correctly, the taste is mild and delicate, with a unique, slightly chewy texture. It's a dish that's not only about taste, but also about the thrill of the experience. Finally, we're heading to the cool climes of Sweden for a dish that's infamous for its pungent aroma: surströmming, or fermented herring. The fish is caught in spring, salted, and left to ferment in barrels before being canned. The smell upon opening a can is so potent that it's often done outdoors. But for those who can get past the smell, the taste is described as tangy, salty, and somewhat akin to strong cheese. It's a dish that's deeply embedded in Swedish culture and is often enjoyed at parties and gatherings. And that concludes our countdown of the top 10 weirdest foods around the world. From fermented shark to poisonous blowfish, we've certainly covered some unusual dishes today. We've journeyed from the icy waters of Iceland to the tropical climes of the Philippines, sampling a rich array of culinary oddities along the way. Each bite has told a story of cultural diversity and gastronomic adventure. Share your thoughts on these dishes and tell us about the weirdest food you've ever tried. Remember, one man's weird is another man's delicacy. Until next time, keep exploring and keep tasting.